Should I quit? This is a question that comes up all the time in our lives, whether if it's in our long-term relationships, it's our business or our job. And this is one of the hardest things to answer. And I get this all the time in my coaching practice. I work with entrepreneurs who have these brilliant ideas and they don't know when it's a good time to quit, or should they quit or commit. And I do have some good news for you guys, although it's a hard process, but there are certain things you could ask yourself to really know whether or not you should quit something, or you're going through a rough patch and you just need to recommit. The one thing that I want everyone to ask themselves when they are in this position is pile on the years on it. Just think about 10 years from now, am I going to regret quitting this, or am I going to regret not quitting this? And that's the thing. I think a lot of people stay in relationships too long, stay in jobs too long, stay in businesses too long because they believe that they have already invested a lot of time into it or money into it. And there is a sense of comfort there. And they don't want to quit because they have to start all over again, or they have invested so much money, and how are they going to recoup that money? And my question to you, if you're in that situation, is ask yourself, you are going to invest more money. Are you going to invest more money into this? Are you going to invest more years into this relationship? Are you going to spend more years miserable at a job? Quit now. If you're asking yourself the question and the reason for you not to quit is because you invested a lot of time, effort, and money and so on, that is not the right thing to do. You need to quit as soon as possible. Another question that I have is, what are the opportunity costs for you? By you not quitting this thing, you're taking time away from things that actually bring you joy. If you're in a relationship and you're not leaving the relationship, maybe there's another person out there that could make you a lot happier, or, crappy job. There's another company out there that's more aligned with your values. You're investing all this time into this company when you could have been working somewhere else. Business ideas. I'm an entrepreneur. Usually your first idea is not the idea that's going to work out. So for example, my own personal story, when I first started out in my business, I wanted to be a speaker. And because I thought that, I love being around people. I love transformation. I wanted to be a speaker. I wanted to stand on stage and speak in front of a lot of people. While I'm still kind of doing a little bit of that, I have really brought back the reins. I'm actually focusing more on coaching now. And I struggle with this decision. And the reason for that is I felt, because I have a series called Unlocking Lily on Evan's channel. And in all my episodes until recently, I said, it's always been my dream to be a speaker. And that's a reason why I didn't quit for a long time, even though I knew in my heart that I no longer wanted to stand on stage and speak, only for special occasions, but that's not the primary thing I wanted to do. I had such a hard time quitting that because I didn't want to come across as I was as flighty, that I couldn't make up my mind. And as soon as I caught myself doing that, I knew it was I had to quit right there and then. Because if the reason for me not to quit is because I'm concerned about how people are going to judge me if I'm going to be flighty, and I'm going to continue to drag and string this out, knowing that it doesn't make me happy and this is not something I wanted to do. And the opportunity cost is the fact that I spend less time doing what I actually love, which is coaching people one-on-one and doing workshops and doing courses. And that's the thing. Always have to ask yourself the question, what is the reason why I'm still hanging on to this? Is it because I'm concerned of judgment? Is it because I feel like I've invested too much time? That's when you know you need to quit right away. Now, on the flip side is, we always hear about this, don't quit on a bad day, don't quit on a bad day. And I think that quote really goes into when you really love something and you know that this is the right thing for you and you hit a terrible rough patch, whether if it's in your business and you're just working long hours, you're not seeing the results, in a relationship, you're fighting with your spouse is because you love this person, and you know that that you're going through a tough time right now. Yeah, you should stick it through. And that's the thing, there's a misconception in both areas, whether it's in a romantic relationship or in a business. It's like, if you love something and if you have passion for it, everything should just flow. And it feels great. Love doesn't take hard work. Love is hard work. It is. Anything worthwhile having is going to take a lot of effort and work, and you're going to hit through rough patches. You're going to feel like quitting because it's so hard. But I think deep down inside, we all know when it's something that's really worth our while, something that we really care about, something that we have a lot of passion about. And when things get hard, that's when you need to find the courage inside and recommit and put in the work, put in the patience. And you hear the story all the time with entrepreneurs is that, I was thinking about Gary Vaynerchuk, actually. He talked about how he invested many years of his life before anybody knew about him, and he just grinded it out and he hustled all of those years. But he loves his business. This is what he's meant to do. And he continued to do the hard work. So really understanding and differentiating between the two is really the key in figuring out, should you quit or should you recommit? And I'm going to recap this before I go. Is number one, ask yourself the question, how would I feel 10 years from now? Are you going to regret not quitting or quitting? The other thing is, the second thing is the opportunity cost. What is this costing you in staying in this situation? Is it taking you away from something that's more wonderful and beautiful, whether if it's in a relationship or a business? And the third thing is, hard things are not easy a lot of the times, especially when you're an entrepreneur. It's hard work. You work long hours, and a lot of the times in the beginning, you are not seeing the results. But if you, in your heart of hearts, know that this is something you really want to do, then you keep pushing through every single day. Because right now I'm sitting here, it's 11:25 p.m. I usually do my Coach's Corner at 9:30 a.m. and I'm exhausted. I had a really long day, but doing this brings me so much energy and joy. It's hard work though, because I was almost going to bed and I told myself, like, no, I'm not going to quit today. I'm going to put in the time and I'm going to make this episode happen, because I committed to doing this every single day of my life, and it brings me a lot of joy. And that's the thing. That's what commitment is, when you're doing something towards something you really, really care about and love and have passion for. Okay, so at this point, I am going to go into the chat to see what you guys have got. I have one comment right here from Primanshu. Primanshu is saying, if you truly want to do something that you can bring a change in your and others' lives, then this is a reason you should be enough to keep you going. Yeah, and it's really, I think ultimately we all know what's right for us. I think we do. We just really need to listen to ourselves, however that looks like for you. Maybe you need to take a long walk. You need to do some meditation. If you're religious, a prayer practice, any kind of thing, to really listen to your own inner voice. And I think it tells us a lot of things. And you will know if you should quit or not. And then you have to commit and have the courage to actually quit something or recommit, because both of those take an act of bravery to do. Anyways, at this point, I'm gonna go to bed. It's late, and I'm happy that I did not quit the night before doing this Coach's Corner, because it does mean a lot to me, and brings me a lot of joy to be here every single day. All right, have an amazing night. Primanshu, thank you so much for joining me tonight, and the rest of the people who are watching. And I'm probably going to do a late night again tomorrow, because I have an early morning photo shoot. So I might not be able to jump on here. But anyway, have an amazing night, everyone. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow at some point for Coach's Corner. Bye-bye.